Yeah, I mean, if you ask, there are no equivalent terms. But Ayurveda could, you could look at the concept of innate and acquired immunity through the eye of Ayurveda. Because if you look at immunity, innate immunity is, the first response, the generalized response to an invading pathogen or some foreign substance in the body. The body recognizes it and, digests, assimilates it. So that is the whole process of digestion, metabolism, and even the very crux, I mean, the very basis of human existence, that we continuously convert the non-self into the self. So, in modern medicine, this immunity is basically understood in the context of this conflict between the self and the non self. So, the non self could be a microbe, an invading pathogen, or it could be a foreign substance to which the body reacts. And in some rare situations, the body attacks itself also, what we call as a autoimmune disease. Now, if you look at it from an Ayurvedic point of view, this is subsumed in the concept of Agni. Because it is Agni in Ayurveda is not just the digestion in the alimentary tract. Agni is present all over the body. It is the agent of all transformation. And it is through the agency of Agni that the non-self is transformed into the self. So when there is a pathogen or microbe in Ayurveda, this comes under the concept of ama. It is a very broad term. Something which has not been cooked and made part of the body. That is what we call as ama. And Agni is the whole process involved. So if you look at innate immunity, what happens is very comparable to what Ayurveda describes as Pachana. This is part of a Lankhana treatment. And this is why in diseases which have an infectious basis, like even many fevers, Ayurveda recommends Lankhana in the beginning. This is to activate your innate immunity. So it's very surprising that even your strength, what Ayurveda says, the bala to resist a disease, is enhanced when you do fasting. Lankhane chabide doshe deepte ignav lakhave sadi swasthyam kshutra druji pakti balam ojascha jayenge. So when you do a very depleting intervention like fasting or restriction of food, what happens is the Agni gets activated and the body is and the resources are now available to fight the invading pathogen. And so when that process is done in an appropriate context, the body regains the ability to fight the infection. So innate immunity is very much related to the normal functioning of Agni. And whatever Ayurveda does in terms of Deepana, Pach, and all these things will stimulate innate immunity. But if you look at acquired immunity, my understanding is it is more related to the concept of Satmya. So, Atmana Sakha that which becomes fully part of yourself. It's a longer process. Gradually the body is able to completely incorporate any substance, and make it part of one's own system. It is completely eliminated so that recognition, that remembrance is there. That is what we call as Satmya. Means something has become Satmyam for me means my body remembers that now. Next time I get an exposure to that, my body knows how to tackle it. So acquired immunity in that sense is part of the Ayurvedic understanding of Satmya. So these concepts are there in Ayurveda, but perhaps not explained, in exactly that framework, biomolecular framework of modern medicine. So if you look at what is really needed is not to look for exact, correlations of modern descriptions in Ayurveda, but to understand, the modern insights of immunity and this whole mechanism through the eye of Ayurveda. We have very interesting concepts about how the body functions, how the body, resists diseases. And I think that is the approach that we should follow. And in that sense, we can definitely make sense of what is innate immunity and acquired immunity from the Ayurvedic viewpoint, although we cannot, give one-to-one correlations for specific mechanisms.